All right. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. If you have a baby born today on the 12th of December 2022, we got to check the whole day. But so far as I see it, it's going to be a manifester. So you're going to have a movie star child. Somebody who's really here to kick some ass. Not difficult, not easy, but raw. Somebody who's really angry. So let's thumb down this anger and see if the peace is there. We're on this transmitting going on right now. They have the 4426. So it's all about transmitting, and this is also in the weather. But this is the kind of child that really has the millionaire design. I call it the millionaire design, the 4426. So these people really need to live in a good community where there's money. If they're around with poor people, this is definitely not going to work for them. So it's very important that we are in a right community for these children. Of course, this is a child that wants to do different things. Manifested children are quickly bored. So they really want to go one thing for a few years, and then they do something else for a few years, and then something else for a few years. They always do something for a little while, and then they're not generators, they're not superstars, they're not here to perfect themselves. They usually go from one thing to the other. So this is really something that the manifester has. It's not an easy child. It's somebody who's really here to do. Not only that, today we're on the fourth ticks, we're on a sixth line, and every time I see a sixth line, I'm like, oh shit, this is definitely not, uh, you know, a challenge in the first 30 years to have a six line child. Are there 3-6 or 4-6 or 6-2 or 6-3? The first 30 years is trial and error. So this can be very detrimental and difficult for these children. So yeah, not easy to have these children. Now, on top of it, of course, the child is emotional. So emotional children need more time. So if you have an emotional child, it's very important that you condition them in their authority. And this is the beauty of human design, that we can just, use human design to make sure that our children make the right healthy decisions. And if you have an emotional child, they always need to sleep over things. So as a parent, you can invite them to say, okay, let's think about it. Let's have some time. And as a parent, if you want to know something from an emotional child, you give them something beforehand. Here it is. Why don't you look at it and come back to me? If you keep doing that and keep teaching your child like that, they're really going to like that. And they're not going to make the big mistake that everybody else makes who's emotional. Because most emotional children, yeah, they make the wrong mistake and they do things too fast, and they're not really conditioned or trained to take some time. And this is the gift that we have now with this manifested child. Now, what we also see and what I like to talk about is that this child is a medium. This child has the 6447, the channel of abstraction. It's a master of old jack of all trades, master of none. He likes to do many things. He likes to experience a lot of things, or she, or it. Or yeah, basically, you're just a manifester. You're not this kind or you're that kind. You're this type. So that's the beauty of it. Anyway, and this is definitely somebody who likes to bitch, who likes to correct. It's the channel of correction. But the thing I really like to talk about is that this child has the channel of a medium, and anybody who has a channel of a medium, they are mediums. These are medium children, so they are connected to their angels, to the ancestors, to different dimensions. They're here to be mediums, and I see in my experience from the last few years that if you have a child that is a medium and that is basically going to school, which is logic with mathematics, this is the most destructive thing for them, is that they don't feel good, and not only don't feel good, they get certain disturbance in their head. Sometimes they even get allergies or, tumors or cancer. So we're in a very serious story now with our manual here, that we really need to follow this manual. If we follow this manual, everything is fine. If we don't do it, we're going to get into trouble. So these children need special education, like most things. The schools are nice, but what do you learn in the school? We don't need this anymore. We got Google, we got all these things, and who wants to know that anyway? We are here to learn to what the other people have to say, and especially this child also sees, she or he, the person has to give some information. They're here to inform. They're here to bring a message, just like Ra gave us certain messages. So Yeah, it's interesting what they have to say and what we have to say. We already know that and we can look it up. So let's be open. Let's see what these children have so we can create a whole new world where we can understand each other, where we have transparency, where there's going to be healthy food, and where we all going to live the paradise that we are supposed to be living here. Have a wonderful day. If you have any questions today about your baby, let me know. Send me messages. Are you a manifester? Do you have the channel of the 4426? Let me know. Maybe we can find out how it works. Thanks.